Alrighty, hello there, folks. How you doing today? We're here today talking a little bit more about, I've been hanging out and talking with Sharon Sunshine over in Scotland there, and her and I have been watching and checking out this particular guy here, this, receding hairline specky bastard that you see here. His name is Batchy, and Sharon and I have been very amused with him and some of the things some of the stuff on his channel. He's a pretty funny guy. He just likes to talk about Scottish sense of humor, Scottish patter, as they say. Now you may be wondering, Eric Jose, what are you saying right there? Well, the word I was saying, though you may not have recognized it, was patter, right? Patter, except like part of the way the Scottish accent works basically is that when you got like T's in the middle of a word like that, you basically you don't say them. It's like, so you just say patta, and that's patter. So it's interesting stuff, folks. Anyways, so I'm building my Scottish accent vocabulary slowly but surely, and with help of people such as Batchy here, and this specky bastard here, and like Sharon Sunshine Young. So what we're going to be talking about today is something that this guy you're looking at talks a lot about in his videos, is a show called Still Game. Now, this is a show about a couple of pensioners with also a group of friends who are pensioners, and it's just kind of like some daily hijinks kind of stuff that they get up to. But as you will hear if you hear Batchy talk about it in his videos, and I'll leave a link to a couple of his videos down below for you guys to check out. But if you listen, he's all about the Scottish patter, patter I say, or patter, and it's basically their way of taking the piss out of each other, but it's all just like in fun, you know what I mean? For the most part, it's not really serious. It's just their way, right? And so he very, very much regards, the cleverness of patter to be very, very important. And anyways, and in the show Still Game, there is a lot of it. There's just a lot of wordplay and verbal sparring, essentially, that is very funny. And I'm going to show you some stuff here today. I took some clips from the first season. This is going to be some clips throughout the first season of Still Game to kind of introduce everybody to it. But there was one other thing that I wanted to address real quick with this specky, little bugger right here, is something that he said that I feel he has a point to a certain extent, because, a lot of American TV did get a little bit, bubblegummy, I guess you might say, at one point. But I still want to point out one of the greatest shows of all time. But I want to go ahead and let Mr. Specky Batchy here speak first.
Scotland is one of the funniest countries in the world. None of this fake, over-exaggerated, oh let's have a party, American sitcoms where everybody's a supermodel dating a football player. Just 30 minutes of scripted positivity with a laugh track slapped on the top of it to make you think this is hilarious. Everybody cutting about with fake tan and nose jobs, living in this alternative reality where nobody ever needs to take a shite. I mean, when you compare that to Scotland, our most loved sitcom is about pensioners trying to dodge Neds so they can go down to the bookies in the pub. You can quote a Still Game joke to almost anybody in the 5 million population of Scotland, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. It's real, it's relatable.
So here's what I would have to say. One of the greatest shows of all time, Married with Children, in my opinion. I mean, when I was a kid, I loved Married with Children. That show was just, it wasn't like other shows. Look at the humorous side of being a middle-class family. And, Al Bundy, Bud Bundy, Peggy Bundy, Kelly Bundy, obviously, and then the dog, obviously Buck, and you had the neighbors. And, that show just was so funny, year in and year out. By the last couple seasons, it was running out of gas. Yeah, it was getting really gimmicky and stuff. So, and it was ready for it to go. But for many, many years, that show was just brilliant. Every time Al Bundy would say, 4 touchdowns in one game, dude, I would just die laughing. And or the episode where he opened up the shoe hotline, and "Shoe Betcha" was one of his catchphrases. I mean, it's just on and on. But that's not even the only shows in America, right? We got like The Simpsons, South Park, Family Guy, American Dad. I mean, so we have more and more of these shows that are more like what, Batchy is suggesting here. So I just thought I'd point that out because I felt like he was shortchanging us a little bit. Although I do concede that there was a bit much of what he was pointing out. So anyways, all right, let's move on to the first still game clip that basically kind of introduces us to the Klansmen, the little bar where they hang out, and some of the characters, right? Okay, here we go.
Oh, here comes Francie and Josie.
Shut up, Dick.
For the millionth time, it's Bobby. What would you like?
Now, that is a big question. What would we like, Victor?
Oh, what would we like, Jack? We would like it to be warmer in here.
Yes, and for the decor to be a wee bit more inviting.
And to lose the stale smell of pish.
And for you to be an 18-year-old bird with big tits.
We would like to come in here and no want to kill ourselves.
To drink.
2 lager. Would you mind getting this, Victor?
Certainly, Jack.
I'm trying to keep my small change to tip the concierge in the lavatory, who will no doubt offer me an array of expensive colognes from around the world.
Now, to lunch. What delights do you have on offer from your varied and extensive menu?
Pies.
Oh, pies. Do you hear that, Jack? They have pies.
Oh, that's dandy, because I was getting sick of that lobster thermidor, you know.
When was the last time we had pies, Jack?
Yesterday.
Och, well, pies it is then. 2 pies as they come.
Yes, as per usual. Frozen in the middle and red hot round the outside.
Irresistible.
Okay, so to give a little bit of explanation to the beginning of this clip, you saw when Jack and Victor, the two older gentlemen, walk in, and those are the main characters of the show, and they walk in, and he, Bobby is his name, right, says something to them, and they said, shut up, you dick, right? To which he replies, and makes everybody laugh, right, when he says, it's Bobby. Okay, the reason why that's funny, folks, is because the Scots have a lot of funny little names and things. What Bobby actually means is a, penis, essentially, for lack of a better word. It's essentially just another word for it. So that's why when Bobby is his name responds to them by saying it's Bobby, anyway, so that was part of the funny bit there. And obviously Bobby's the he's not a kid, but Bobby's the guy that runs the Klansmen there, which is the bar that they go to and everything. And it's basically it tends to be the center of a lot of the shenanigans in the show and that sort of stuff. So anyways, to get on to the next clip, here we go.
Winston was good enough to procure me a doormat. One of them with the greetings written in it. I've always wanted one of them.
Very nice indeed, Jack. You've arrived at the abode of Mr. J. Jarvis, Esquire. Wickham.
Eh? Oh, you bastard!
This clip introduces the welcome mat, and there's a reason why that's significant, as you'll see as we proceed here.
She must be wanting to pump him and all, eh?
Jack,
Yes, Isa.
your doors look lovely.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Don't be annoying him. As old as he is, he's still bloody handy, and he is doing us a favour.
Look, let's just not be hanging about sitting there while he rattles on about the war.
Shut up, he'll hear you.
Oh, aye, can he hear through bloody what's and on now?
Aye, I can. Jack, Victor, what can I do for you? Here you come. That's it now. Watch your feet. Take a seat.
Oh, cheers, Frog.
There you go. Gotcha. Okay.
Message 2.
Public telephone.
Hello, Dad. Listen,
Train
Dad,
station.
flying up isn't an option.
Man in the background arguing with a guard. Fella begging.
Popped into Waterloo
A wee
and-
jangle of coins. Man reading a paper, big paper. Times. There we go. The Hackney. Pulling away for the rank.
See you then.
Oh, I'll have to get that exhaust fixed, eh?
Aye, very good, Shug. But what time does my boy's train get in?
Well, how could I know that? It's obscured by the horn of an RL Blue Line diesel train. I didn't know they were still running.
Well, listen, thanks for that, Shug.
Aye, just leave it with me. I'll isolate the EQ and centralise the bandwidth.
Aye, that's what to do.
That's your lift coming. See who's doing the Klansman.
Aye.
I heard that.
All right, yeah, this guy cracks me up, man. He's just got that super sensitive hearing. There's another later episode where he comes into the Klansman and I guess he has this little arrangement with Bobby, where he says, "Hey, Bobby, hit it," and Bobby, opens the cash register and then he slams it shut. And then by the sound of the cash drawer shutting, he guesses how much money's in there, and if he guesses it right, then he gets a free pint. So it's funny stuff. But so this guy's pretty funny, and there's another clip coming up that involves him, and it's just hilarious because he's got those satellite dishes there. It's funny to be somebody who's old, and can hear that well, right? Because usually when we get older, we need hearing aids and things like that, right? So, anyways, all right. So I just wanted to introduce him. He's pretty funny, and let's get to the next clip.
There you go. Whoa, thank you.
Right, Clump.
Aye, you bastard. I've been meaning to dig you up about that. That bloody door, man. I've took no end of pelters for that.
I know. I've had a lot of complaints about them. It's no worries though. Problem solved.
Now, one of the reasons why I kept this in was obviously Jack doesn't want this mat, but I was thinking maybe we all get together and buy one of those for Mr. Ken Kratz and his lovely wife Leah. I don't know, just a thought. But anyways, all right, next clip. Here we go.
That's Shug.
Aye, Clockley lugs.
Shuggy!
Whoa, what you doing? You only come over and bother tits off us about Timbrook.
Right enough, aye. Prick. Who do you suppose is in the bag?
The guy buys that shitey breed, snappy shopper. 22 pence a loaf.
That's because he's a miserable old bastard, eh?
Sunblast! Best gear! Get it up,
Oh, now that is awkward, eh? Although you would have thought they learned their lesson about that guy with his ears the first time, but nope. Anyway, hilarious stuff. I love it. This show is just very entertaining. So, all right, here we go. Moving on to the next clip.
Look at this weather, Eric.
And the ground's all slippy, I know. I nearly went my arse there.
Oh, it's a pair of these you're wanting. Permagrip soles, Timpsons, 1999.
Is that right?
Ah, you've got to take care of yourself at our age,
Come here.
Jesus, he's all right.
Watch your feet, Jack. It's slippy.
It's a pair of these you're wanting. Permagrip, 1999. What amount of Oh, that boy at Simpson's getting kicked squarely in the nuts.
Farmer Q. Keeper.
Here, hold on a minute.
Who's that for?
Hey, Willie Napier. I feel that bad, I promised I'd got last Thursday. He's not been keeping that well either.
Oh, come with you.
Aye, right, aye. Oh.
Eric. There you are, Eric, son.
Aye, come on, give your horn.
Yep, those permagrips. Oh my god, that clip is hilarious. So the whole lead in here is that this episode deals with the cold in Scotland. There's some various things that happen in the episode that I'm not going to cover here. Like at one point at the Klansmen, they have a bit of a kind of Deadpool situation where there's a guy in there taking bets on who will be the next old geezer to die from the cold. Essentially, they're taking bets on who would be next and all that sort of stuff. And so this is what fuels this entire episode is the fact that it's that time of year where it's bitter cold and people are afraid to turn on their heaters because to turn on your heater just sucks up the electricity and you end up in the poorhouse. And so you get all these people who refuse to turn on the heater, and sometimes some of these older folks, will refuse to turn on that heater and will sometimes end up succumbing to the cold. It's unfortunate, but that's what this episode's getting at. But it's taking a humorous look at it.
Right, come with me. Right, do you notice anything odd about that meter?
No, it's the same as mine.
Take a closer look.
Oh, the wheel isn't going round.
For I have intervened and impeded the progress of said wheel. Now, observe. Watch what happens when I do this.
Jesus. Look at the speed of that. That would cut diamonds, that.
That's like a sawmill, Winston. I could have your horn off.
I know. Terrifying, isn't it? Now, if I was to let that run, I'd be potless and in the gutter by Thursday.
Well, aye, you would, aye.
However, with this device, gentlemen, I, Winston, am King of Lecky.
Yes, that's got to be a good thing, oh yes.
It's all well and good, Winston, but you know what it makes you?
What would that be?
A thief. A rat thief.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, now, Victor, that's not entirely fair.
No. That's how come electricity's so expensive, you see, with the likes of him stealing it, you know what I mean? I'll no be party to this. Come on, Jack.
No.
Hey?
I'm sorry, Victor, I'm with Winston on this one. I want a slice of this action.
Very well, Jack. You're a grown man. You've made your decision. But consider this, eh? You're warm now. But how's it going to be in a wee stony jail cell, eh? With nothing to heat you up but a hot bobby right up your arse.
Victor's right. You're off your body heat, Winston.
Ah, well, away you two back to your ice boxes with your principles intact.
And we're arseholes.
Okay, so the thing in this episode that's funny is that obviously to, overcome the cold, Winston has figured out a way to get free electricity. So the funny thing is, folks, just a little bit of background of this story here, is that in this episode, Winston is he's acting like a drug dealer because this is obviously illegal. And when he goes to the marketplace to buy heaters, he asks for 2. And when he asks the guy for 2 heaters, the guy looks at him like, oh, what do you need with 2 heaters? It's like this whole thing, the jig is up. Kind of. So after that, he starts procuring heaters, and all throughout the episode, when he's hooking somebody else up with this setup, you'll see the person carrying a bag, and inside the bag is a heater. And so it's all these, they got them in bags and everything. It's really funny, really, episode. And so anyway, Winston here is the procurer, and it's just so funny because he acts a lot like a drug dealer in the whole process of it in the episode. So it's pretty hilarious.
Victor. Victor.
Jack, time's it?
Time you got a bloody heat in you. Come on, feel your face, you're freezing.
Ah, come on, right.
Come on, you, get up. Up you get.
Hook me up.
That's the boy. You know you're doing the right thing, eh?
I know. A daft old bugger.
I wasn't going to mention this, but
What?
I had a dream about old Willie last night.
What happened?
Well, he was wearing a shroud and his face was all that blue colour, you know. It was like iced water, you know, and his eyes were all yellow.
I always did have yellow eyes, didn't he, old Willie?
Aye, so the booze he drank, sure. Anyway, he comes to me in this dream and he takes me by the hand, you see. His hands were freezing. And he starts leading me up this beautiful staircase. Goes on for miles. No banister, no. And I'm looking from side to side and there doesn't seem to be an end to the stairs, you see. Well, eventually we get to the top and the thing is, I'm not puffed out. Feel fine, you know. That's when he points. Exactly the same way he was pointing when we found him in the flat, you see. And he's pointing to a coffin. I'm looking at it and it's an old coffin, you know, and it's all on musty way. The lid's down, you know, but it looked as if it'd just been dug up.
Aye. Exhumed.
I exhumed. I'm feared, you know, but he tightens his grip. He's pulling me closer and he's pulling me forward, you know, and he's bending down. Of course, the lid's shut. But not anymore because he's starting to open the lid, you see. And I look down, I'm in a right mess, you know, and then I see it, you know. There it is, staring right back at me. The body of...
That's all right. That happens sometimes.
I just about shat myself there.
Jesus! The hell are you doing? Get a move on, Winston.
Just give me a minute. There you are now. Welcome to the FEC, the Free Electricity Club. Gather round for the ceremonial switching on of the fire.
How's it feel? Feels pretty good, eh?
Oh, aye, feels good, aye.
Well, switch it on.
Hey, right.
1 bar.
1 bar's plenty.
Victor, it's gratis. Get the 3 bloody bars on.
There we are. Oh, that's rare. I can't mind the last time I had the 3 bars on.
Aye, you can smell the stew burning.
Hey, I'm going to put the free kettle on. Aye. Free hot water, free tea. Ho-ho!
What else can we turn on?
Ah, you're getting the hang of it now. The telly.
I suppose that's the beauty of it, eh? There's so many people in the scheme that they'll never know who's stealing it.
Winston was in earlier.
Oh, aye.
Aye, asking for tick.
And?
And he received the stock reply. Please do not ask for credit, as a boot in the tea towel holder are for offence.
So you're saying he left here with nothing?
No, I let him have a tin of cat food.
Winston doesn't have a cat.
Can't believe it's come to this. Oh well, here goes. 8 out of 10 pensioners prefer it. Lads.
We come at a bad time, have we?
No, I was, just about to sit down to some lunch.
And what are you doing after? Going to leap up on the sideboard and lick your balls?
Eh?
We know about the cat food.
So that's the final clip. Obviously, that was just hilarious when Winston answers the door and he's like, yeah, I was about to have a bit of lunch. And, you know, Victor says, oh, yes, and what are you going to do afterwards? Jump up on the couch or the sofa and lick your balls like a cat? Ha, ha, ha. So, anyways, very funny stuff. That's why I say this is a pretty funny show. It's pretty clever. It's, you know, it's got all that stuff. So, obviously, like I said earlier, maybe we all need to think about pitching in and getting a lovely welcome mat for the Kratzes, like the one we saw earlier in this episode. You know? So, anyways, a lot of stuff. Anyways, no. So, We're just here having a little bit of fun today, folks. Please go and check out below. I'll leave some links for some of Batchy's videos. Please go check out some of his stuff. He's very funny. He's got a lot of good stuff. One of the one is worst place names. Yeah, he's got a video. Trust me, only in Scotland would you have two different like cities or towns named Twat. Yeah, only in Scotland, really, seriously. But I gotta say, I do love the Scots because this whole idea of the way they refer to it as taking the piss out of each other, they have a thick skin. You know, they don't get upset or offended, easily. It's kind of just part of their culture to have a thick skin, and they give each other crap all the time, and I just think that's brilliant. Because in today's world, I think if more people had a bit of a thicker skin, we might possibly see some things in the world improve. But I gotta say, it's probably not a bad idea to take a page from the Scots and learn to take ourselves just a little bit less seriously and be a little more humble and willing to accept our shortcomings or faults or whatever you might say. So, all right, folks, that's about it for this one today. Hope you enjoyed it. Go check out Still Game. It's on Netflix. You can find it there for free. So go check it out on Netflix. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe.
Nothing though sums up the attitude of Scottish people like the nation's unanimous uprising against that fucking cretin Jamie Oliver. In one fell swoop he got himself written off every single Scottish Christmas card list when he fucked with Iron Brew. I honestly can't believe he just ran up to Nicola Sturgeon like the primary school class teacher's pet. Miss Sturgeon, miss, they're all drinking Iron Brew with sugar in it. Boy's an absolute weapon. I bet even his own Wayne's hate him.